What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except manhole covers. That will come back to get you. What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of F1 Fantasy Pole Position. It is Friday, November 21st. My name is Ewan. On today's episode, I'm going to give you my final thoughts ahead of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. It is currently 6:29 Germany time, so it ended about 29 minutes ago, FP2, although it kind of ended about 15 minutes before that because Vegas has manhole cover problems again. So, yay, I'm really glad I stayed all the way up for FP2 to watch that. I also woke up for FP1, then I watched the Texans game. So, go Texans, 6-5. But so, what can we gather from those like 2.5 free practice sessions? A little bit here, a little bit there, but I still think it's pretty inconclusive. So I'll say that right off the bat that whatever I say right now is my final thoughts for now, but I will have a 2-hour deadline live stream tomorrow morning. The times are above my head right now, so make sure you are liking these videos and subscribing to the YouTube channel as we creep towards 4,000 subs. All right, so let's get into it. FP1, what did we see? We saw Charles Leclerc on top. We saw Alex Albon second, Tsunoda and Verstappen in third and fourth. Carlos Sainz rounding out the top five. So 2 Williams and 2 Red Bull in the top five. Not entirely sure we pictured either of that happening, even with Tsunoda. Leclerc on top. He loves Vegas. He has had quite a lot of success here. Then it was Lando, Hadjar, Oscar Piastri, George Russell, Kimi Antonelli, Lewis Hamilton, Gasly, Lawson, Alonso Stroll. Behrman and Ocon down there for Haas isn't super encouraging. Then Hulkenberg and Bortoleto and Frank Colapinto all the way at the bottom. Then we move over to FP2 where not everyone got a qualifying sim run, but Lando came out on top. So McLaren ran 2 different configurations in FP1, one for Oscar, one for Lando. I believe they decided to go with Lando's configuration for FP2, and it worked out quite well for Lando, as you can see here, coming out on top by about 0.03 of a second over Kimi Antonelli, who is the rising star in F1 and F1 Fantasy right now. Then Charles Leclerc again, Hulkenberg in fourth, Hadjar, Lawson, Russell, Albon. Verstappen didn't get a quali sim either at the end there. Hamilton rounding out the top 10. And then again, Gabby Bortoleto at the bottom and both Haas's there as well. So not super encouraging if you were thinking about going to Ollie Behrman like I was. If you have missed the last 2 weeks of content, I've done team selection, I've done transfer targets, but both of my kind of assumed moves were going to be Lando Norris and Gabby Bortoleto out for Max Verstappen and Ollie Behrman. As you go to the budget builder here on F1 Fantasy Tools, that is the best A tier asset to rise and the best B tier asset to rise. And I was going to keep Mercedes. However, Mr. Charles Leclerc has thrown his hat in the ring, and I can get there. And I could go Lando, or I could keep Lando and go Russell to Leclerc and still have enough money to go Gabby Bortz. Oh, I'd be 0.1 short. I forgot. So I would not have enough money. So that would be pretty brutal there, unfortunately. So I can't actually go down that route. I could go with a hit if I take out Verstappen. But Lando kind of showed enough for me in FP2 that I don't mind keeping him for now. Another option is also getting Kimi Antonelli in. I can't do that with Lando, but the other option I've been showing on my team selection and my transfer targets video is Norris, Bortoleto, McLaren, and Sainz all out for Verstappen, Antonelli, Colapinto all the way down at the bottom, and then that gives me enough for Red Bull. And while I like this lineup, and I would have liked it a lot more after FP1 here, when you see Red Bull kind of storming through the field, and then a little bit more here in FP2, I haven't seen enough of them both looking good. So I hate to say this as a final thoughts episode, but FP3 is going to be massive. I hope we can get some representative running. I hope we get a full hour. We get quali sims. We get long run data. As of right now, it is literally 33 minutes since practice just ended, so there's no F1.com data. There is no F1 Fantasy Tools sims right now. I'm really interested to see what we get out of that later in the day, but yeah. So this is a -20, so this is kind of like if everything came together and it was looking super dominant, which I cannot say right now after FP1 and FP2. So part of my transfers will be influenced by looking ahead to Qatar and kind of hoping that I can set myself up there, maybe have 3 free transfers for the final run in Abu Dhabi. So right now, Bortoleto can come out. Russell maybe isn't looking as good as I was hoping, and Antonelli is looking okay. But I could go Russell to Charles Leclerc. The only problem is that I'm probably locking in a price drop there. I don't think Leclerc is going to have enough to win the race. 37 points for a 0.1 price rise is quite a lot. So what do I do here? I got to get rid of Gabby Bortz because he's pretty much a guaranteed price drop. Williams looks good enough that I'm probably going to keep Sainz in. Gasly has shown some form as well. Where was he in FP1? He was at the top of the times there for a while, but P12 in FP1, and then in FP2 he kind of was also P12. So never mind, he did not drop down at all. So Sainz and Gasly feel like strong holds. Maybe there's not enough even to like get rid of like Gabby Bortz. I could just go anywhere, maybe just go to Espa and Ocon as my 2 cats meow in the background. So I apologize for that. They're still on cat quarantine for one more day. So they're going to be involved in this a little bit as well. So there is a world where I can't imagine not going without any Red Bull right now, but maybe just making one move, going with Ocon, who -7, -1. He's had some good quotes in the press conferences talking about how he's felt like feeling better with the car. The updates have worked for Haas. We'll see how they perform in FP3, but there is now a world where maybe I just keep Norris and Russell and McLaren and Mercedes and just roll the transfer into Abu Dhabi, because then I should have enough transfers and money with all these price rises, hopefully, to go from George Russell up to Oscar Piastri. As you can see right now, I'm 0.2 million short, but with Lando set to rise, Gasly set to rise, Sainz set to rise, Ocon set to rise, I should have enough where I can get rid of Pierre Gasly, maybe go down to Fernando Alonso, or just bank all of that money and get a bottom of the barrel asset and have enough to run the triple McLaren lineup in Qatar, hopefully, if Oscar Piastri can show us some form, and kind of set myself up with a 3X chip for Qatar. So Vegas may not be the huge opportunity that I've been hoping it was going to be to take a giant swing in F1 fantasy, but that doesn't mean that there's not moves that can set us up for future success. So it could just be a Russell, just a one transfer move for me this weekend based on FP1 and FP2. Like I said, I'm going to wake up for FP3. I'm going to have the deadline stream. So my thoughts will change here, but this is what I would be looking at for now. So maybe just, if I had to lock in right now, I feel like I was kind of accused myself of being like a cautious F1 fantasy manager, putting my content creator hat on, but I don't know if there are any other moves. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think I should be doing with my lineup. Is just the kind of solid transfer of going to Ocon, taking some hopeful points, and a simple price rise worth it to set myself up for Qatar? Or do I need to be more aggressive with 3 races to go? Because that's what I'm looking at. But based on FP1 results and FP2 results right now, I don't think I can be that aggressive. I really wish if like Verstappen had topped the times, if we had to Charles Leclerc get in that last quali sim in FP2, my thinking could totally change. And hopefully we get to see that in FP3. So I feel bad because this is like touted as a final thoughts episode, but it really is going to come down to FP3 for me, which I will be awake for. I will tweet out my thoughts as the day goes on and on. So follow me on X at F1 Fantasy Ewan. I'll try to post something on TikTok at F1 Fantasy Ewan as well to kind of have any updated final thoughts, which defeats the whole purpose of this episode. So I am sorry about that. But hopefully this is all making sense to you guys. Let me know what your lineup thoughts are in the comments below. Maybe we can inspire each other to be more brave, more bold with 3 races to go in the F1 fantasy season. But I hope you guys are all doing well. Hopefully you'll join me for the deadline stream tomorrow. It is really early, bright and early for me. I'm sure it's going to be for a lot of y'all as well, or quite late in the evening as well, depending on where you are in the world. But yes, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Always looking for 150 likes on every video, and we're getting closer and closer to 4,000 subs. But Yes, I think right now, if I had to lock in my team, it would just be Gabriel Bortoleto to Esteban Ocon and hope for some overtakes on a high overtake track in Las Vegas. But once again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, I see you at the deadline stream tomorrow, and I will talk to you next time.